Welcome to the Stairway to Heaven. We're coming to you on X-Zone TV and Simul TV from our broadcast studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, with the latest updates on the increasing frequencies impacting us all. Stairway to Heaven is the source of vital information for the evolving human being. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Money, money, money. Few things demand as much attention or have as much control over us as money. But what exactly is it? Before money was invented, people bartered for goods and services. Then, about 5,000 years ago, the shekel was created. The shekel is the first known form of currency. The word shekel originally referred to a weight of around 11 grams. Thus, the first shekel coins were made of about 11 grams of silver. Fast forward to the U.S. dollar. The U.S. Mint first made the silver dollar in 1794. Then paper came on the scene. From 1882 until 1933, gold certificates were used as paper currency. These certificates were freely convertible into gold coins. In 1976, the U.S. government officially ended the relationship between gold and the dollar. It's now a fiat currency. Fiat money is a currency that lacks intrinsic value and is established as legal tender by government regulation. Once made of silver, the dollar coin is now a mix of manganese, zinc, copper, and nickel metals. So, in effect, we're dealing with pot metal and paper backed by nothing? In addition, much of our money has become ethereal without so much as paper or pot metal to show for it. We squirrel cash away for retirement, investing funds to make more money, only to have the market crash and all our hard-earned savings disappear without a trace. Interesting that while the value of money becomes more and more tenuous, our attachment to it has increased exponentially. We've come to equate money with happiness. A few thousand of the world's wealthiest people were surveyed. They were asked how much they needed to be perfectly happy. 75%, many of whom had a net worth of over $10 million, said they needed a lot more. It would take at least $5 million to $10 million to be happy. Looks like chasing the proverbial carrot to me. Other research shows that after we make enough money to pay our bills and save for the future, making more does little for our happiness. My grandmother had this wonderful saying, "Shrouds don't have pockets." Ultimately, we all die. What's money worth then? The root of the problem? We've been sold a bill of goods. Advertising and the media have programmed us into believing our worth lies in material things and physical attributes. The more money and things we have and the better we look, the greater our personal value. With enough money, we can improve our looks or with cosmetics and surgery. We can wear the latest expensive name brand fashions, drive around in a flashy car, and own that mansion on the hill. Then we'll be viewed as worthy. Then and only then will we be happy. Firmly conditioned into this way of thinking, we've become totally focused on gaining more paper and pot metal at the expense of our relationships, health, integrity, and ultimately our lives. Once we die, our great estates are split up, soon to disappear, and our graves are left untended as we spent more time running after paper and pot metal than we did developing our character or our relationships. We truly become as so much dust in the wind. Indeed, shrouds don't have pockets. It's not to say money's not important. Currently, it's a necessary form of exchange. The point is that nothing is so important it should dominate our lives. While we may tie our happiness to money, the obsessive pursuit of the same pollutes our relationships, compromises our health, desecrates our integrity, and steals our joy. Clearly, we need to reevaluate our relationship with money. We can start reframing our programmed attitudes towards money by performing a simple but profound exercise. Break out your trusty journal and start a page with the heading, "If I'm going to die in 1 week." Then outline exactly how you want to spend your remaining time. Not how you think you should, like getting your affairs in order, but how you want to spend it. List what you'll miss the most. Then list what you'll be very happy to never have to do again. It may be something as simple as taking out the garbage, or it just may be working overtime and sweating about money. Once you've completed the exercise, design your priorities around what you found was the most important to you and what was a miserable chore. Bear in mind, as the study showed, after we make enough money to pay our bills and save for the future, making more does little for our happiness. Armed with your new insights as to what's important to you, how do you want to spend your time? Consider, why are you really here? Were you sent here to be a mindless money-making machine? Is there truly nothing more important? Money and things turn to dust. What legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you build that legacy? Many of us find ourselves at a loss when looking for what we want to accomplish beyond financial freedom, whatever that is. What is our life purpose? Believe it or not, thinking back to your favorite heroes when you were a child can offer up some very interesting clues. Did you love Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, the Little Mermaid? Research their characteristics and stories to uncover the part of your soul they spoke to. Hidden therein is the driving force behind your life that you may have forgotten. Many people view that their total life's purpose is their job descriptions. With that much importance hanging on our occupations, it becomes clear why we're rarely satisfied with our jobs. Yet, when at a party meeting someone new, one of the first questions asked is, "What do you do?" This is usually followed by a snap judgment as to the value of the person based upon the income of the profession. If you answer, "I'm a medical doctor" or a stockbroker, you'll be viewed much differently than if you say, "I'm a janitor" or "I work at a fast food restaurant." Even if you say you're retired, the following question is inevitably, what did you retire from? Naturally, if you're retired, your value drops. But if what you are retired from is considered subpar, the person questioning you will usually walk away to talk to someone they view as more worthy of their time. It's no wonder we've become obsessed with money and careers when our entire worth is left hanging in the balance. On the other hand, I've been in a group of people when someone arrives that's devoted themselves to personal evolution and developed deep spiritual awareness. It's fun to watch how others naturally drawn to that person, regardless of what they say their occupation is. The spiritually aware tend to stand out and shine in a quiet way that draws others to them. They're not only accepting and non-judgmental, but they also carry power that less processed and evolved individuals lack. People are drawn to this without knowing why. Others may have asked these exceptional individuals what their occupation is and judged it below their regard, but will find themselves circling back to them again and again throughout the evening. If asked why, they may say there's just something about that person that doesn't add up. They seem too happy, powerful, and confident to be a grocery store clerk. What's up with that? If we take the time to become processed and self-aware, if we choose not to buy into the propaganda telling us our worth lies in money, we will have the confidence to carry power and quality wherever we go and in whatever we do. If our total focus is on making enough money to be better than everyone else, we don't have time to be introspective, mindful, and therefore processed. This leads to a neglected spiritual life. There's no amount of money that makes up for an impoverished spirit. Quality of spirit is the true measure of worth, and it cannot be bought. To access our true worth and power, we need to unbury our connection to spirit. This requires questioning our values and releasing our false identities. It will also necessitate exposing ourselves to that which feeds our soul, rather than programming our beliefs and therefore our behavior. To this end, it's useful to look at and reevaluate what we surround ourselves with. Is our house full of meaningless things we acquire because they look good and make us appear well off? If we instead surround ourselves with meaningful things that bring comfort and joy, the house can then become a home, a sanctuary for our souls. It can be as simple as incorporating an old throw our grandmother made for us instead of a stylish, color-matched yet meaningless article we spent way too much on to impress others. When we look at the throw, we're reminded of our grandmother's love. When we look at the decorator item, we engage our false identity. Surrounding ourselves with things that lift our spirit rather than feed our ego helps support our spiritual alignment rather than furthering our materialistic programming. Another thing to consider is how much time we spend sitting in front of the television or computer. What programming are we unwittingly absorbing? Instead, can we use some of that time reading inspiring texts, listening to uplifting music, taking a walk in nature, or spending quality time with our loved ones? I once knew a brilliant, capable young man who was very high energy and ambitious. However, he was opposed to introspection and would not question his values, behaviors, viewpoints, or choices. Rather than look inward and evaluate what he found there, he would distract himself by working hard and making lots of money, focusing on his hunting dog, fishing, and hunting trips. He would bury how he felt by smoking and drinking. Anything undesirable about himself he would not own, but rather projected onto others. He would only associate with people who did not challenge his viewpoint. I ran across him the other day. I'd not seen him in 40 years. I've changed so much during that time, I can't even relate to who I was back then. He's not changed at all. Well, that's not entirely true. He's 40 years older, but no wiser. He drinks and smokes more, and his health is failing. He's become extremely bitter and is now alone, except for his savings and his hunting dog. It's a personal choice how we spend our time here. Whether we buy the press and chase the almighty dollar at the exclusion of all else, or focus on our personal evolution, is entirely up to us. We can follow the programming or follow our hearts. But come our twilight years, what will we see when we look back? How will we feel about what we have or have not accomplished? Will we have balanced making a living with living? Will we have paid attention to acquiring the wisdom the years can provide? Have we taken time to share that wisdom with our descendants? Or will we spend our latter years trying to self-medicate away what we view as our failings? Will we be discouraged and bitter because we bought into the programming that money would buy us happiness? It takes courage to buck the system. One must be very brave to look within and admit to their failings. Looking at and acknowledging where we are and changing to correct our shortcomings is never easy. Yet, if we do not, we run the risk of becoming so much dust in the wind. It's never too late to change your future. Ask yourself now, do you want to continue living a lie? Will you choose a life of positive impact? Or will you live a wasted life? Thank you for joining me, Gwilda Wiyaka, on the Stairway to Heaven, where we provide updates on the energetic currents facilitating our evolution as conscious, powerful co-creators. As I'm sure you've noticed, not only do the Stairway to Heaven episodes stand alone, but they weave together to form a map to evolution and personal empowerment as we enter the new era. To revisit this or any of our past episodes, visit our archives at www.stairwaytoheavenmedia.com. If you'd like to find out more about me, my school, and the evolutionary tools we offer, visit www.findyourpathhome.com. Until next time, may you be blessed on your sacred path to wholeness. We are here. The time is now.